Hey everybody, and welcome back to part 2 of Real World Flame, and this is part 2 of cleanup scenarios on a real world job. So let's dive right in. So literally I am where we left off, so I'm going to again just scrub through. So now it's going to be this portion here, which is going to be kind of needing to get out of the way. So we know from, so let's see, so it's easiest, like I was saying before, it's easiest to kind of chunkify these. So we'll say from 47 to 74 is like another portion. So we know that 47 to 74. And if you can't remember stuff like me, sometimes it's easier just to do this. And sometimes that helps me. But anyway, so let's say, for this, I don't think I'm going to bother with, I mean, I don't think I need to key because I know that this area is problematic. Well, really, it's just that top bit over there. So yeah, I'm just going to, again, so it's from 47 to 74. I'm going to start it from here. This won't be too bad because it's just that little portion. So again, I'm going to draw a little mask out and do that and just smooth that out and go Alt 2 and then, sorry, spacebar 2 for that, and then view the result. Sorry, F1 to view the front. If we hide that on and off, let's see. I am not hating that. Maybe tighten it up a bit more. Yeah. So yeah, that's my starting point. So I need to go to 47. So I'm going to start backwards. So I'm going to do back one frame, add a box. And again, not Alt 3, but Alt 2. And scrub that over. And again, we're just trying to get this going. Back another frame. It's just that portion that we're worried about, which really is just that small bit. Back another frame. And again, it slowly becomes less painful the more we do it. So pull it over, and this can be our last frame. Perfect. And we're going to jump forward and then jump to the keyframe, and we know we need to go to 74. So this will be a little bit more painful. So I'm going to iterate replace, and I'm going to control swipe down just so I got more real estate, and go Alt 2 again. Okay, so pull it over, and then again let's jump a frame forward, pull that across, pull that over, jump a frame forward. And I'm not, again, this doesn't have to be perfect because I know it's not the final thing, but also we can get away with a bunch because of the motion blur as well. And if we have to, we can try and mush it a little, but I don't even think we'll have to for this, just because it's not, I don't think it's 100% necessary. So I just noticed there's something here, so I'm going to jump forward a frame. And you see I need to, yeah, it's just where that mask ran out too. So I'm going to jump forward, and I don't want that now, so I'm going to delete that key and then just go back and forward. So now I know it's kept it. So I'm going to draw these around. Jump forward. Forward again. Jump forward. That's kind of where that ran out, so I just need to go back a frame to make sure. So yeah, I should have been paying attention there too, so that's good. So one more frame. Across there. I know there's going to be an annoying part where I have to keyframe this off, but anyway, forward. I probably should have broken this up into 2 chunks, but we'll see how much I hate it in a minute. And pull that across. Again, I'm just looking at this area here because we can kind of, I don't know about you, but I can feel something there. So yeah, so that needs to come out more. And yeah, just somewhere there. It's not, again, it's not perfect, but whatever. Okay, so jump forward. It's kind of working. Jump forward another frame. And I know some of you might be saying, why didn't you just Gmask tracer it for this part? Again, I think this would be a case of it's just quicker to do this than mess around with a track that's just going to keep failing or getting confused, to be honest. And I say that without having tried it, but from memory with this shot, it was a pain to get that right. So, but you know, things can change. I'm gonna pull that across so we know the end is near, because we're in the 70s now, which is good. Which I remember 74, yes. And we see that is actually just a little bit too much, so I'm going to pull that down. It's better. And pull it down again just a little, just because we're revealing a little too much of that shape there. There's good. And again, we'll pull that down. Pull that down. Jump forward. And again, I'm just control dragging in case. I mean, I don't even think you have to. Oh, no, you do. Yeah, control drag. Control drag around the points. Jump forward. Again, just H just to see what I can get away with. And I think I can get rid of this guy now. Yeah. 74, yeah. So iterate, replace. So now I know I can render from 1, just gonna duplicate. And let's go from 1 to 74 just to see how far we've come. Let this click away. So again, I really hope this is useful for you guys, especially you guys wanting to get into Flame. Potentially you're an assistant or you're just wanting to know a little bit more. I really hope this is useful. Again, let me know in the comments if you'd like more of these types of videos once this is done. So I'm going to view that at 100. Actually, I'm going to scale it back. I'm going to press play. And you see that's working. So that's honestly the most annoying part kind of done. So now the next thing obviously we noticed is it's just like join the dots. So the next bit is his ear, right? That's the next bit. So let's do it. So 62 is where he goes in. And again, I'll go to 62, go in here, And again, yeah, it's that part. But again, this bit's not too bad. So I'm just gonna do that. And because I'm going against my own rule, but because this is pretty small, if I go here, yeah, it's really only the ear. So for that reason, that's why I'm not going to bother breaking out the shape. I know I said you should always have different shapes, but again, it's to each their own, and to each circumstance is always going to be different, which is just me being lazy. So there's that frame. Jump back. So let's see where this is out by. So 62 was where we started. So 59. So really we've only got one more frame, one more frame. We'll do one more for good measure, and then that guy can disappear. And then if we go back here, again, I'm looking over here. So we go from 62 to 71, let's say. So 71. So jump forward a frame. Again, just small little adjustments. Just tweak those in just cause. Do that and that. Jump forward. And this is why my decision is coming back to bite me in the ass, because it actually is a little bit annoying having to just crumple this shape off. But that's, I made my bed, so I'm going to lay in it. And I'll go spacebar 2 and then hide. And yeah, I'll do a couple more frames. Jump another frame. Jump another frame. And yeah, that's gonna do it. So iterate, replace. And again, let's do there. So we'll go to 80 for this, just to see, iterate, replace, just to be safe. And let's render that up. So far so good. Specifically in terms of my workflow and doing more tedious tasks such as this, it's actually can be a little bit nicer for your brain, well, personally for me, when you can start working, but then break it up into chunks. You can kind of feel like you're progressing a bit more. Again, everyone works differently. The other way you could do it too is you could split it up into batch effects, but I don't like doing that unless it's you know, thousands and thousands of frames long, to be honest. So that's rendered up. Let's fit that up, and don't need the color sampler, and press play, and let's see. So that's looking good. That's working. And yeah, I'm happy with that. So again, we've got this bit here and that little bit at the start. But for now, let's say this is great. So let's progress further into this shot. So let's scrub through further, and F4. And let's scrub along. So what's the next part that is going to need the help? And that will be, yes, this part here. So this part looks to be a pain. So let's start again with the hand. So we'll do the hand. So the hand part that needs the most is, this is going to be annoying, but that's kind of this thing, isn't it? So again, it's seeing which part you want to deal with to start with. So let's see. I mean, that's going to be the last bit, but let's see. So 330. Let's see if we can just do a quick, what was that? That was that failed thing. Let's see if we can get away with a key. It's only for him we care about that's coming in. No, we're still going to have to, Yeah, maybe we'll come back to that because that looks like it's going to be a pain anyway. So let's look at the result. So let's start here, I guess. Let's do this. So when I get into more bits like this, I mean, sometimes I'll do it all in one Gmask, but then sometimes when I know I might need a different blur for it, that's when I'll do a separate one again like this. So I'm just going to do the Gmask again, duplicate the add front, and then just shift, and then so that's another add, and by default because of the Gmask. But I'm just going to do this. I'm just going to pull this out. And just pull that up. And let's try this. So it's just really this portion for now before the motion blur. So again, it's just chunking these out to where it works. And I'm going to go frame forward. Pull that down. And that's the, again, the saving grace is the roto. And the motion, obviously. Derp. Okay, jump a couple more frames. And again, it's all about segmenting these guys into chunks. And jump forward. It's weird because that's up there now, but anyway, jump forward. Paint in the fill and jump forward. Again, we're getting closer to not having to care about this until we have to go backwards, forward, and that's it. And that'll do for that shape. And then again, we'll jump to the keyframe, and now we need to go backwards. And we'll go backwards. Backwards again, and again, I'm just being fairly crude with this because I know I've already done this, but I'm trying to be as true to what I would do for this for demo purposes. So let's let it do that. And jump back. Jump back. Jump back. Select it, and again, it's quite tedious, but such is cleanup sometimes. And jump back. And that's a bug that happens. I don't know if you've ever had that when you have the edit box on. If I undo, turn that off and then you move that, and it's fine. It's annoying. So I'm going to pull that up. Step back and keep this going. And keep pulling this across. back. For anyone who cares, I think this shot in real world took 3 to 4 hours, I believe, but maybe not to have it take this long for the demo. So hopefully part 1, which was an hour-ish, and part 2, and that will be it, to be honest, because the rest is kind of blah. Jump back. Back. Okay, and then let's scrub back. How much more do we have to do? Okay, so not much more. So jump back. And again, it's just these top bits that I'm worried about. It's the shapes that these are doing just to fill in, because the rest will have their own little thing that will be filled in. Pull this across. Across. And pull that up. Pull that up. Alright. Getting there. Again, it's all about the chunks, because this can feel like you're not getting anywhere pretty quick, but I promise we're getting there. And now is where we got the blur coming out, which is good. And back. 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 This is where I'm being pretty loose. And for now, that'll do. Once that selects, and iterate, replace. Okay, so let's scrub along. Cool. So now let's try the roto fill just for this this portion here. So let's try. We're probably not going to be able to pull a key. Maybe we are. Let's pull out a Gmask. Do that. Let's see what we can get away with. Spacebar 2. All right. So let's do F8. Object. Tracer. Add. And that's the back. Whoa, that's weird. Alt 2. Whoa, that doesn't look right to me, but anyway, F8. Let's see if it changes now. There. That was a weird little glitchy thing I was getting. Anyway, we're getting something that looks not crap, which is good. Let's pull the shrink the other way and blur, and let's soften that out somewhere there. Spacebar 2, and that's looking pretty good. Is that going to look good all the way through? Let's find out. To start with, let's just do the least amount of work. So I'm pulling that across. I don't want that, so that's why I was hiding that. There we go. So let's see how much that helps us out for free. So we see it's working great for the for this part, but it's that that stupid that shadow thing. Okay, so that's good though. That's good. We know we just have to get rid of the shadow thing. Okay, so node bin and Gmask, and let's do this. So don't like that shadow thing. Object mask 0. And actually, let's see what that's going to do. Okay, so this is going to be a bit of a pain. But let's see what we can get away with. Bang. Jump forward. And then we can pull that off, and let's see. And that should still be good. And it is. That's good. So let's jump again to the bottom guy. And somewhere here is where I want to add another keyframe for him, just so I have it ready to get rid of that weirdness, which is right there. And that's that. And if I go Alt 2, spacebar 2, and there. And you see that's doing what I want. And jump forward. And we see again what we need to get rid of, which is that. And I don't want to do icons on. There. That'll do. And again, we'll just that over because we don't want that. And we'll jump forward. Okay, so we know that that happened up until 265, so let's render from 124 to 265 and render. If anything, I think this shot is a perfect example of something that can seemingly look quite simple, but has quite a lot of little things, you know. It's a little onion, lots of layers. So that, it looks like it's working. I'm happy with how that's coming up. Black parts are doing what they're supposed to. So now it's definitely the hand, and then the corner bit. So let's press play. And that is doing exactly what it's supposed to do. So now it's the annoying bit. So again, a little bit more annoying stuff. So it's going to be the hand part. So by, let's see, so it's 71, but we're not at the right frame because of where we rendered. Another thing I like to do, I should have done, should be burn in metadata, which is add. And we'll do source frame, and I'll put this down the bottom just so I know when I render, I can just look at the frame and go, oh yeah, that's where I need to jump to. That was my bad. But anyway, let's look to where we got to do that. So yeah, so somewhere back. So there was the last frame, I guess. Yeah, so I mean, that get away with. Yeah, that not so much. So let's do Gmask, and let's do see where we can get away with. This one I'm doing a mush shape because this is just a layer of mush for motion blur. So spacebar 2 and result, and yeah, you see we're getting into problems with what's revealing. So let's see what we can, because anything that's not in there, we're just gonna have to paint in anyway, which is gonna be a pain. So I mean, the hand mush is okay, but that thing, yeah, we're definitely gonna have to paint that back in. So I'm gonna go back a frame, throw that over there, forward. That mush will work till there. Let's see, where does that kind of works? You got to be careful not to change too much with what's happening in these motion blur areas, because you can really it can be a real tell when it's not done right. So if I go and blur that up, yeah, so that's good. Back a frame, put that back to the I'll make sure I put the blur up again. So 1, 2, 3, and that's not right. So again, let's just pull that over, and that will be, now is where I can safely get a new shape, I think. So from there, and really I want my original shape, which isn't there anymore, so that's my bad anyway. All right, so let's jump through. So again, this is where it becomes more painful. So I'm going to jump forward just so I can kind of see where I need to worry about a shape. So let's see if I can get away with a matte as well for that hand bit. Yeah, it's not lending itself to that shape too well, especially because it's so close to, if we look, oh, that's another thing that's in 2018 3. You can select the elbow and view the result. Oh, so good. All right, iterate, replace. Let's see. So yeah, we need got a bit to do. So let's see, where is going to be the least painful place to start, because this by all means is the most annoying part of it, to be honest. So let's see. Let's see. I mean, can I get away with a histogram for that? Maybe. Because that kind of blows out, and then that might, I mean, that color negative. Oh, it's just that last bit, but I mean, 90% of that is good. Like, where? I mean, jeez. I don't know. I'm trying to. This is always the challenge. Is trying to make sure you don't do too much, and then what you've just done become redundant. So, you know what? I'm gonna try another shape just here, and again, reset, because that just did not work. And you see, it's It's so annoying. And so noisy too. So yeah, I mean, can I get away with, is it a mono? Mono gonna work maybe? Mono sometimes do magic. So red, green, blue, U, Y, U, nope, V. If I ever needed a key on his hat, hue, that's that weirdness. Huh. Wow. That's pretty gross. I wonder what they shot this on. Hue, saturation, lightness. Yeah, it's just not. Unfortunately, it's a case of quit being a wuss and just get to the roto, because that's kind of what it is, to be honest. So G mask, Alt 2, and again, I'm just gonna pull that out while looking at the context. Soften that off. And in this particular case, I am just trying to keep the shape with the least amount of movement I have to, because I know if I hide that, I know most of it is taken care of, and it's just such a gross, annoying shape that I know no matter what, it's just gonna look like crap if I tweak it too much. So anything that doesn't have to be tweaked won't be tweaked. It's lazy roto, but far out. Why wouldn't you? And jump across there. Jump forward, hide that. Jump again. Pull that across. See, this is where Flame needs a zoomable timeline, because it gets very fiddly when you're trying to do finite little adjustments on tiny tweaks and you can't zoom that timeline. But anyway, gonna not be negative. Pull that across. Jump forward. And this is getting messy already. But if I hide that, it's gonna be blurred anyway, this part. It's gonna get some mush. So whatever. Just gonna pull that across. Jump forward. And eventually I'm just gonna swap this shape out for something else, because it's already starting to not look anything like the original. So if I pull that across. And then here. And over there. One more frame. Oh geez. Somewhere there. Okay, so it's gonna be, that guy's going there. So now I need to do it backwards. So again, it's just little tweaks. To where I need it. Back. And it's funny because it's one of those things that always, That part there seems like a bad edge to me, but it's really just in the footage. And that's the thing you got to keep an eye out for this stuff, is your eyes will pick up things differently each time. And yeah, you can quickly paint yourself in the corner if you don't remember that, because it can be kind of problematic if you let your eyes. It's just like it can be a non-stop circle, to be honest. And we'll go back a frame, stepping through, back a frame. And again, I hope this is useful for someone out there that really wants to know what's going on behind the scenes and get to the real gritty parts of Flame that maybe aren't the sexiest part to sell for Flame. But yeah, so hopefully this is useful for you all. Otherwise, send a comment that says please stop, and I'll very much consider it. So let this keep going. This is the thing to remember, is sometimes there isn't a matchbox or an effect that can get you through, and 9 times out of 10 it's a nitty-gritty roto, just those little final bits that there's no plugins for, and usually there's not a lot of real info on, and you just got to learn out for yourself, to be honest. But everybody's different, and everyone learns different things or picks up different things depending on where they've worked. Okay, I can see the finish line with this particular shape. And back a frame. Back a frame. Now it's gone. All right, so iterate. So if I look at this result and scrub along, done most of the crappy bits, most of it. So even as it goes off, where does it go off? Because it's gonna have to again have different shapes as it goes up too. So yeah, I mean, where were we for that shape? So there. So bang, bang. So that's the next one. All right. Alt 2. Yeah, it just needs its own shape. So Gmask. And again, because this is kind of mushy, I'm not too worried about the overall shape in terms of it's not the best looking shape. I'm going to get rid of that weirdness and blur that out. Go back a frame and move that off. So forward a frame, forward a frame. And let's see, that'll do. Forward a frame. And because we are so heavily blurred, we're going to be able to get away with this. Yeah, that'll do. Another frame forward. Okay, so really now it's only about this hand part. But you know what? For now, it'll get away with it. We'll keep it soft. We'll see if it's noticeable. Pull that across. to that frame, another frame forward, frame forward. And I know that that blur fall off is nuts, but just bear with me. I just want to see what I get away with. Okay, pull that up, forward. And there's the other thing, because I've already, if I view the mat, because I've already committed to adding that area, I mean, yeah, whatever. I'm just going to keep this shape as it is. I mean, I could have swapped it out before it blurred, and maybe I will, but I feel like a softer shape is going to help me in terms of not having to worry as much, but we'll see, I guess. So jump forward. Yeah, and now I'm seeing that it's not working. So let's see. Where's the last frame? So there. So there is where I'm going to go to there. And then Control Shift F. And I'm going to delete those keys. And I'm just going to quickly check the time on this. Far out. We're nearly an hour in again. Sorry, guys. So I'm going to go one frame forward and throw this away. And one frame back. Okay, so now let's get this going again. So just for this, I'm gonna pull that out and try and get it as close as possible. Somewhere there is already looking better. It didn't need as crazy soft of a shell as the other one. And just for the overlap with this, I'm gonna have this intertwine with the other one, just so that way it's not as noticeable if it pops on, or if it feels like it pops on. Okay, so now I can do this a little bit more. Again, it's not gonna be as blurry, which is the key, and that's why I'm doing this again. Jump forward. Hide that. And jump forward. Jump forward. Forward. Okay, keep chugging away with it. Again, this is by far the most annoying part of this, because it's just that annoying to slowly change over time, but not a normal enough pattern to keep tracking all the way through, and blah 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 blah. And I know everyone would approach this slightly differently, but again, this is just how I'd approach this shot. That. I'm just going to hide just to see where, again, that was flowing through. This is where it gets interesting, because it pretty much just blends off there in a weird way, but whatever. And pull that across. Go forward one more, and I'm going to rotate, which is what I should be doing anyway, probably. And see what that looks like. Jump forward. Jump forward. And again, these are just tiny. It's these annoying little bits, but they're the bits that are necessary. Stepping through. Stepping through. Stepping through. As long as my intersections are kind of working, I don't have to worry too much. And I got my point consistency going on. We should be good. Okay, didn't mean to move that. Meant to rotate. There we go. Jumping forward. Pull those over. Pull those over. All right, we're getting there. And again, let's just pull those across. Pull them over there. And we'll jump forward. Sure. Yeah, that'll work for that point. And I'll pull down here. And again, I'm going to swap this out for a blob shape soon anyway. It's just seeing where I can get away with. Yeah, I don't want to do that because it's intersecting. So that'll get away with. Pull that across. Forward. Jump forward. Jump forward. Okay, so we're getting close to blob area. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to swap it out for now. Iterate, replace. Okay, so progress is being made. Let's iterate, replace, and render that portion again, just so we can see any bits we might have missed. And again, this is compositing 101 is, rinse, lather, repeat, render, tweak, render, tweak, render, tweak. It's all part of the fun, right? So let this do its thing. Chugging away, come on. And this is on my my custom Linux desktop, in case you're wondering. So the 10 core. I guess it is what, it's 4K. It's 10-bit. I mean, this is kind of normal. It happens with lots of GMAS. I guess it's not the crazy slow. It's about HD slow, to be honest. Let it finish off, and I'm just gonna stop it there. Go to player, press play. You know what? It's not looking too bad. All right, so where do we need to add some extra bits? First thing first, frame 194. That's why I'm glad I rendered those things. Frame 194, I'm just going to put a paint node all the way at the start. And I'm going to recursive clone, recursive clone, and zoom that up. And I'm going to blob that out like that, and then go spacebar 2. And I'm going to go a bit crazier. just really not have to worry about that. Spacebar 2. Yeah, cool. All right. Other than that, let's see where I need to start the next shape. Okay, so really it's 240, so it's around these hands. All right, so again, it's tedious, but this is why you get paid. So 240. So first thing is Gmask, and I'm gonna draw these shapes out. And again, this is not needing to be perfect, but point consistency. That's where the principles of compositing and animation still apply. And I haven't been following them perfectly. I apologize, but I think it's kind of working. So I'm gonna go back a frame and back a frame. Just see where I don't have to go back anymore is where I'm going to drop this guy off. Back a frame. Yeah, so there. And then jump forward and then back to the keyframe and then forward. 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 Okay, so this is where, yeah, this is where some grossness happens. So that will go there. That will go there. Again, I'm just working with mushy shapes because I don't care. That down. Forward. Okay, and now I'm going to add another shape too, just so we can finish this off. Let's do that. And back one. Forward, forward, and jump on in. That'll do, and jump on in. Oh, you see there's a little bit of stuff that needs filling in there, so I'll just quickly pull that out. Forward again, and pull it over. Iterate, replace. Actually, I'll do increment just for the sake of it. Okay, we're coming up to an hour, so I'm going to do a couple little bits more, and then we'll. I'm just gonna scrub through just to see. So you see the most of the painful parts are done for this, and getting most of that hand done, and it's working and it's looking good. The only thing is, an extra shape for, let's see, for once this comes back in that we put in, which again we know how to do. It's just adding another mask, and I don't know if you want to sit there and watch me do another one. And then just again the final little bit for the head fill when it comes in. So I'm not gonna pain you through all of that. I think the whole point of this was for you to see my whole process for a shot like this. And I think this is kind of it. The other thing I might do in a real world scenario for this would be, call this part roto fill in to kind of keep that grouped in so people knew, and then have separate ones. This could be my main. This is blah, blah, blah roto. This is my other parts roto. I mean, the only other real thing that I might do to help this along would be to do a motion analysis. Just here, just gonna pull this across. Would be to add a motion analysis, and I love these new global vectors, but say for this part here, just to help us along. So I would do let's see. Let's see what is our mats doing. Yeah, so I'd pull in our mats for this. I'll do Matchbox and then Stingray Motion Blur. I don't know why it doesn't all show up, but anyway, so that's my front, my mat, which is the roto, and then I don't need Z depth, my vectors. Thank you. And you see, it's just that little. All right, I'll go 1 just to see if I can get away with it. I mean, it's probably not the best to drive that by the mat, to be honest, because I think it just stuff pops on and off. So let's see what we get away with, say here. And you see instantly it's already, once we go here, again, you'd fill this in how you'd want it, you know, like I'm not trying to be vague either. I'm sorry that didn't sound right. It's just been 2 hours, so yeah, you would, you know, regrain the portions you need, bang bang, and then if you so chose, you could have the mat input, but then just blend back out the output. So, you know, you're only blurring the bits through the mat, and you see it's already. Well, let's see how that looks before I finish this up. So I'm going to iterate, replace, double click, and render. So I'm not going to render all the way to the end because it is actually, there's still the bit where he leans his head in still isn't done. But again, this is, once this is rendered, we'll play it back. But again, this is intended to be a real world scenario. I'm sorry I don't have permission to give you guys access to this footage, but hopefully this gives you a working understanding of what my approach would be coming across a shot like this and how I would approach it in the real world inside of Flame. So gonna let this guy render along. It's going slower because of the 2 regrains, which aren't GPU, so I should have used Matchboxes probably, and the motion vectors probably are slowing it down a little. But again, there is a bit going on so far in this comp, and it is 4K, and the source is 16 float, and blah, blah, blah. You know how it is. So we'll let this chug along. But yeah, again, if you guys enjoy this or you prefer the shorter format, let me know which you prefer. Yeah, I don't. I'm actually going to pause it there. And look. So it's introducing more blur on him as well. And if you did do this route, that's where I would do a denoise before everything, and then you know, do your denoise here to everything with whatever you choose to do it with, and then your final regrain after if you chose to do the extra mush route, which in this case I wouldn't. But yeah, that's going to be it for this 2-part series in Real World Flame object removal techniques. I hope this was useful for you guys. Let me know in the comments if you'd like to see more. Cheers.